right, Sean Patel here with the legendary Hall of Famer Oscar De La Hoya and the man fresh off winning the Nationals in Texas, Joseph Awinonga Jr. Oscar, man, after seeing him spar, legit top 10 cruiserweight guy you promote in Robin so far.
Right.
What are your takeaways from seeing Joseph up close today?
No, very, very impressive. I mean, sparring a legitimate professional, fighter who's in the top 10 in every organization. It's no easy task, and they had great work, great sparring, and this is work in the gym. But when you see different moves and styles, and the footwork, the punches, when you're a fighter, you know what you're seeing. So yeah, he has a lot of potential, a lot of great skills that I saw. So and they're still developing, which is incredible. He's only what? So how old is he? 17? 18 years old. I mean, come on. He's still developing. So going in against the guy who's a veteran, professional fighter who's undefeated, like Safar, and doing great it's a feat in itself.
What do you see from his tool set, his talent, speed, power, and upside?
All the speed is there. The footwork is there. Would love to see more jabs, double, because I'm a jab guy. That's the punch that beats everybody. So, but that's the experience that one learns as you go, right? And as you turn pro, as you go to the Olympics, and going for the gold, it's like you have a lot of opportunities to learn from different fighters as you're climbing the ladder. So this is a great experience. This sparring will help him in his future. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see.
And obviously, you won the gold medal, and America hasn't had a gold medal since Andre Ward,
right,
which will be 24 years from the next Olympic Games. Do you think this young man could be the guy to do it?
Absolutely. But not only does he have the potential to win the gold, but to be a star in the professional rankings. You see his mannerisms, you see how he carries himself, you see the work, the ethic, the putting in all the sacrifice. It's all bunched up into literally creating a superstar. So he has all the package. So I feel that he's just got to stay on course. That's it. Stay focused and work hard.
And the meanness, did you see a level of that edge that you need in the pros, where you got to be a little mean in there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're up against Safar, and it's only sparring.
Yeah.
But you're up against Safar, who's a seasoned veteran. It's like, he held his own, and that's not easy to do. For any amateur, that's not easy to do. So he has that pro style, which is beautiful. I had the pro style. When I was his age, I would spar world champions and professionals. So I can see him doing extremely, extremely well in the professional rankings.
You sparred Chavez as an amateur, right? I think
when I was 14 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got dropped with the right hand, but just a little knee jerker, no big deal, But I got my revenge when I fought him in the pros.
That's right. But talking to Joseph, one thing he did admit to me was, as of right now, while he's focused on his training, he's not watching a whole lot of tape.
Right.
Did you watch a lot of tape? Is that something he should incorporate as he prepares for the Olympics and eventually the pros? On other great fighters and fights going on?
It can always help.
Yeah.
It can always help.
Did you do it a lot?
I actually really didn't watch much, because growing up you had VHS, so
right.
I didn't really have enough footage to look at. But I always admired the greats. You always have to admire the greats so you can have something to really push yourself towards. Like, I'm not sure what fighters he looks up to and professionally, but when I was a kid, I looked up to Chavez, for instance, and I wanted to be like Chavez. I wanted to be like Pernell Whitaker. I wanted to be like, the greats out there. So it's always nice to have somebody to look up to and try to emulate.
And you watched Arguello too, right? I think
Arguello was my favorite fighter of all time.
Right.
Not just because he was a great champion in the ring. He was a gentleman outside the ring.
Well, I know he watches some Terrence Crawford, some Wilder. Anybody you give him advice to check out, maybe, that after watching him could make sense for him?
Usyk. Yeah, Usyk. I'm sure he follows Usyk, and admires Usyk, and who doesn't admire Usyk?
Yeah.
Being a heavyweight fighter and being so elusive, on his footwork. I mean, he's got faster footwork and faster hands than Usyk. I don't mind saying that because it's the truth. But it's somebody that anybody should admire.
What about Lennox? He's 6'5" like Lennox was.
Lennox Lewis is another one. But I think that Lennox Lewis did have a lot of power. He was a natural heavyweight, but he does have better footwork than Lennox.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah. With all due respect to Lennox, I mean, he's a great fighter. But when you see things in fighters, and I can say this because I'm an ex-fighter, you must point them out, and you must tell the fighter, hey, this is your strength, this is your weakness, and fix your weakness and develop your strength. That's just the way boxing is.
Also, Moses Itauma in the pros right now, he's looked at as the best young heavyweight on the rise. Do you think that these two could fight one day for the heavyweight title, Joseph Awinonga and Moses Itauma?
A few years down the road.
Maybe even 10 years, 8 years, whatever it is.
Could be 5. It all depends on how he develops, as a pro. He has so much amateur experience, right? He has so much talent that, like, I won a world title in my 10th fight as a pro, and other fighters win world titles in their 20th, 30th fight, so it all depends on how he develops.
And last one for you about Joseph, Oscar. What advice would you, obviously you're here, we know you're a promoter, but what advice would you give him in the business? Because it could be, as you know, from both sides, a very treacherous business to navigate. What's the best advice you could give a guy?
The right people behind you, that's it. The right people who have your best interest. That's it. That's basically it. That's the bottom line. I didn't. In the beginning of my career, in my first year, I didn't have good people behind me, like to guide me. He does. So Joseph does. So it's like, once you have the right people from the start, everything will fall in its place, because you want the fighter to focus on his craft. You want the fighter to focus on being world champion and the very best. And you have your trusted team to, make sure everything is okay outside the ring.
Was it? I'm sorry, but was it what you saw in June at the Junior Olympics here in Vegas that made you say, I gotta keep an eye on this kid coming up?
When you hear, boxing is a small world. When you hear the rumblings, that there's this kid, Joseph, that's, making a lot of noise and multiple national champion, then you must pay attention.
That's 26-time United States champion.
That might be a record, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that might be a record. 26 times. I think I was only like 12-time national champion,
Right.
He got the gold.
29 is incredible.
And he's going to the Olympic.
There you go.
Joseph, what does it mean for you? I mean, even pulling Oscar aside, like it meant something for you to do this interview with Oscar. What's it mean with a great fighter like Oscar coming to watch you train?
Starting off, I'm just grateful to be in the position I'm at, and knowing that I have such a great future ahead of me to keep on striving and keep on pushing, because when the people go ahead and showcase that they're viewing me and coming out to watch, it just gives me that extra motivation to just go out there and work 10 times harder. So it's just all about following the right path and staying, as you said, around a great circle that will keep on pushing me to the next level. So that's where I really get the most feeling from it.
First thoughts on him talking about the jab more. What do you think of that?
I would say the reason for the jab being laid off more today, it's like sometimes I came from the lower weight classes. I remember even going back, watching myself. The jab is my greatest ally, but when I got a little bit too drunk on getting that sense of power, that's where I let the jab go and then say, oh, let me come over with a hook instead. So it's just all about going against the right opponent. And today, Rob, he came over. His main goal was to continue moving forward. So it's just like I didn't want to get stuck there too with a slow jab that would allow me to go ahead and get countered with some punch. So that's the main reason for that.
You were born right when Oscar was finishing his career up. But is he a fighter that you did study?
Did you have to mention that?
No, I'm sorry, Oscar. I'm sorry.
Let's go.
Still selling out Las Vegas when you were born.
Okay.
He's against the best fighters in the world. But have you watched any prime De La Hoya? Are you familiar?
I have. And when I go back and talk about the greats, the reason that I got so in love with boxing was because that was the time that all of my family went together and said, "Oh, let's go to the family's house and let's go watch this fight. Let's go see this amazing fight." And that's the time I was able to go ahead and really learn the sense of family gathering and find that aspect for how beautiful family is. So the reason I'm able to go ahead and do this sport and showcase, like, I'll be able to bring families together and make the sport such a resurgence where people can say, I'm going to go watch boxing. That's another great dream of mine.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.